baby. Set a timer. Love you. Hey, go lay down. Go lay down. Come on, Bruce. Kennel. So I'm going to start today's episode of Talking Rife with I had somebody send me a video over the weekend. I'm sorry, over the week, during the week. That it was just a video that had a bunch of, or a handful of Rife machine manufacturers, companies that develop, train, and help coach and everything on how to use frequency devices, how to use Rife machines, and manufacturing companies of Rife machines, including myself and Caitlin, my wife. And basically, it was like a 45-minute video of some old guy who talked about having connections to John Crane and having access to some research that was some original of Dr. Rife's research, that basically he worked with a handful of other people, electrical engineers, researchers, and that they came up with their own theory of what Dr. Rife was doing in his lab to make a Rife machine work. And it goes over 45 minutes of a bunch of scientific crap that 99.9% of people are not even going to remotely understand. And in the video, it wanted to basically clip in myself, my wife, a handful of other CEO and owners of Rife manufacturing companies, and the videos that we have put out talking about Rife machines and how they can help people, how they work, different things like that. And it would clip in different parts of our videos and try to really discredit us. And it kept going back to the old guy basically saying that it was hogwash and that what we're doing is useless, basically making some kind of, assumption that we're just out here to steal people's money and sell you junk. And, I know that this is something that's going to happen. I know that people are constantly attacking alternative methods. If someone has let's say a sprained ankle or a tear in their knee or something like that. And, even modern day doctors would say like, oh, okay, well, what you can do is you can stretch, and we'll do PT, or physical therapy is, abbreviation of physical therapy. And we can have you back in 100% in, no time. And there's a lot of people out there that are going to be like, oh man, you got to have surgery and wear a cast and stay off of it and be bedridden and all of this different stuff. And it, anything that goes against the norm, a lot of people are just going to be not only apprehensive, but also just like, they're going to demonize. They're going to be aggressive towards it, for lack of a better term. And I understand that. It really is a bummer when people put themselves out there. They work hard to invest and spend a large portion of their own money, time, and effort and humility to bring something that has helped them to other people. I think that's probably one of the things that bumps me out about a lot. It's like I know a lot of people will come to Electromedics, to our TikToks, to our lives, to our Facebook, to our Instagram, you name it, and they're just looking for information. They're just curious. They want to hear the stories of how it helped other people. Like they want to hear what's the science behind it, how it works, different things like that. And what they have to filter through is oftentimes a lot of people that are just saying, oh, that's snake oil, or you're stupid, or that doesn't work, or that's low powered PMF, and all these different things. And I mean, it's just sad. Like it really is just sad when it's like someone's coming out of curiosity looking for information, and they have to filter through tons of people being critical, criticizing, demonizing, and just flat out lying. And what they're actually doing is they're gaslighting. They're going to sit there and pretend that they know more about Rife machines and PEMF and frequency devices, frequency therapy and frequency healing, vibrational medicine than anybody else. And they're going to be like, oh, well, you don't know, but I do. Right? It's just like that whole theory. You can take 20 people and put them in a room. Nobody has more information than anybody else. And 19 of them are going to be standing around like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. And there's going to be one idiot there who's just got more confidence than the others. And he's going to be like, I fucking do. Well, I know what's going on. Even though nobody has more information than the next person. And that, again, he's often going to be the lesser of the intelligent people. People who are often very smart, educated, informed, researched, developed, you name it. They're oftentimes the people who sit back and observe and only speak when they think that it can be helpful. Whatever way the herd tries to go, they will only try to talk to, let's say, the leader or the direction of the herd. They're not oftentimes going to sit there, stand up on a pedestal and try to speak to the whole herd. And they're just going to try to be like, hey, like maybe this makes the most sense to me. Here's what I'm looking at, this, and this. They're never going to be the people that are just like, well, you don't know what you're talking about, but I do. And, just try to discredit with ridicule and insults. What is that famous saying? Is like, oh man, I think it was Benjamin Franklin who said, resort is had to ridicule when logic fails them, or when there's no choice left. There's no other option. And basically, it's a philosophical quote that I butchered 100%. I can't remember what it was word for word, but basically he was saying when there is the last resort, when there's no logic, is you start ridiculing people. You start making them look bad. You say things that are insulting or disrespectful because you have no argument. You have no information, no research, no logic, no analytics, nothing. You're like, so you start ridiculing. And it really is sad because the biggest ridicules that we see in the frequency therapy community or the frequency healing community is people who often know nothing about it. They've never tried it for themselves. They've never heard of anybody trying it. Nothing. The only thing they know is opioids or super addictive drugs and pharmaceuticals or surgery or some other invasive tactic. That's all they know. It's like that old guy on the Listerine commercial who's walking around. It's like, if it doesn't burn, it doesn't work. And all I would want to say to those people is there's nothing wrong with being wrong. There's nothing wrong with making a mistake. The worst thing you can do is sit around and do nothing, or sit around and do the same thing over and over and over and over again and expect different results. That is the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again and expecting different results. It is oftentimes, and sitting still, like if you're walking in on a trail in the middle of the woods and you're scared, you don't know which way to go, it's getting dark and you're trying to find your way out. And you come up to a fork in the road. Say there's 5 different directions to go. You have no idea which way to go. The worst thing you can do is sit there, panic, be paralyzed, and do nothing. The best thing you can do is start finding a direction to go. And sometimes your only option is going to be to just start walking one of the ways. You walk one of the ways and after a little while, you're like, oh, I don't remember passing that creek and that meadow. This is definitely the wrong way. Let me go back. You start walking one of the ways and you're like, oh, I definitely don't remember this opening up into a road or a highway. Let me go back. And so while you may have not made the right decision, you found 2 of the wrong ways to go. And now your equation is down to 3 options. So you've narrowed down to 3 choices instead of 5 now, or 6, which was going back the opposite way, which that's not the way. So now you've effectively divided that in half. And that would be the biggest thing I would want to tell people who are so against trying something new, that is so against anybody thinking for themselves or exploring options. It's just like, man, I literally just want to sit down with them, maybe touch their shoulder, touch their hand, little physical contact, and just look them dead in the eyes and be like, hey, man, or lady, like, hey, it's okay. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to make the wrong decision. It's okay to make a mistake. We often learn what is right when we make a decision and it's a wrong decision, when we make a mistake. I think that's how a lot of people find Rife machines. That's how a lot of people find frequency therapy. They go through all the normal channels, and often they suffer severe side effects. That may be hard for some of you to understand. I've done it. I've seen my family do it. Rather, you get addicted to pharmaceuticals, completely dependent on them, not just addicted, not just like, oh, this gets me high, it feels good, I need to do this like once a day. No, like full-blown panic attack, I have to have that to live. That's real addiction. Side effects of like, oh, wow, what was supposed to be a 6-week recovery is now a 6-month recovery in physical therapy, where I have to drive 30 minutes one way to go to the hospital to do PT in the hospital because my surgery went so poorly. People who've died. Not a lot of people want to understand that. Medical malpractice, the 3rd leading cause of death in the entire world, out of everything else that goes on in this world: war, crime, shootings, food poisoning, hypothermia, getting bit by snakes, dying from mosquitoes, getting trampled by hippos and elephants, car accidents. The most likely thing you can die from, way ahead of all of that, being a police officer. I know a lot of law enforcement likes to think what they do is just walk in the line of death, and God keeps you alive every day, even though I think their job is less than 20th of one of the most dangerous jobs in the world. I'm pretty sure nursing is more dangerous than being a law enforcement officer. Same thing. A lot of people think that all of that stuff is one of the most likely ways to die. It's like, nope, actually going to the hospital and seeing your doctor or surgeon or the emergency room is the most likely way to die. It's the third most likely way to die in the world. The two things that beat it was stress. Let's see what it was. I believe stress was number one. The number one way to die is stress. And I think two was heart conditions. And you could Google that, look that up. That's not hard to look up. That's not hard to research. I encourage everybody to look things up whenever I'm on here talking about things. It's because I try to be accurate, but accuracy is a perspective, right? I don't typically form opinions or strong stances in a lot of things. I just like to filter information. I like to understand what I'm seeing, what I'm looking at. And it was no different with me whenever I found a Rife machine. I was often like everybody else that finds Rife machines. I had no other option. Modern medicine was leaving me high and dry, breaking my finances, leaving me in pain, side effects and symptoms. I didn't have any other option. I was like, well, if this can help, what do I have to lose? And it helped me in a pretty incredible way. It gave me a lot of my life back. My story resonates throughout the frequency therapy world because I was a young guy. When I first found a Rife machine, started using a Rife machine so that I could just walk, so that I could just work, so I could do normal everyday activities like play with your kids outside, run, just run. Be able to pick up your wife or your daughter. I couldn't do any of that. Not without the fear, the immobilizing, the paralyzing fear that is like, wow, I could collapse to my knees. I could fall down and collapse to my knees. And so I tried a Rife machine. You know, I had to filter through all these people that were calling it hogwash and all of this different stuff and being afraid of trying something new. I wasn't afraid to try something new. But that misinformation certainly deterred me. Because I'm looking at, we're the creatures of experience. We want to hear people. What's the first thing you do when you look on Amazon to buy something? You're going to sit there and look at how many reviews it has. Oh, well, this is 4-star. Let's check out some of the comments. And, I had to filter through a lot of the comments to get to the good stuff. Like, well, who's it helped? I hear all the people that never tried it, that have all these terrible things to say about it. But it's like, let me get to the people that have used it. Let me hear their experience with it. And it was all positive. I don't know anybody that used one of these machines that doesn't have something good to say about it. Even if they're like, hey, it didn't really help me for what I was using it for, but it did help. Or, I do believe that it can help people. I've seen it help other people. Never seen anybody use a Rife machine the way they're supposed to and be like, oh, this is garbage. Even when it didn't help them in a very measurable way for what they were wanting to use it for. Even though it could have helped them for a lot of other things, right? We're not looking for that. Like if it would have helped me do a whole bunch of other stuff but didn't help my back, I probably wouldn't care to have one or to keep using it. I'm looking for something to heal that extreme thing I'm doing, that I'm dealing with. And even then, even when it didn't help them with their extreme case, they didn't have negative things to say about it. They even had positive things to say about it. They even talked to other people about it, like, hey, this might be something that can help you. And that's really where I want to steer the conversation is whenever you see somebody make a video that is just absolutely attacking somebody. Now, it may be different if it's like, hey, Here is something that I think can work better. Here is something that I think is a low powered form of this, and they're putting something out there of like, I'm not discrediting this person. I'm not saying what they're doing hasn't helped people. I'm not saying what they're doing isn't right. But it's like, what I am saying is like, there may be something better out there for you. Here's what I have found. Now that seems like a respectable conversation to have. Not just going out and flat out just trying to attack people and make them feel stupid for even looking or exploring into other options because everything else has failed them. And I just want to point out the incredible stories of people that it has helped, that it's changed their lives. Now, does that mean that I think everybody who uses a Rife machine, that it's going to change your life? No, it's not. There's probably a small percentage of people out there that it wouldn't help. I don't want to say at all, but I want to say that it would be so marginal, it's not going to be measurable for some of the things they'll want to use it for. We've seen it. It's very rare, but we've seen it. People who want to use it for something that's a pretty severe case, we'll call it that. And they use the machine and they're like, it may have been a little bit better, maybe nothing at all, I don't really know. And even those people, they've been like, hey, I believe in this. This has been great. I've seen it help other people as using it. It didn't help me, but I'm excited. I'm still going to send people your way. Thank you for what you do. That's generally how that's went. Most people, I don't even mean majority, I mean the extreme majority of people who get these machines and use them correctly usually see life-changing results. If they're dealing with something that is a life-changing situation. A lot of people will just get these for post-workout recovery, health optimization, little things here and there, allergies, headaches, you name it. And to them, it's life-changing. They're like, oh, wow, this is great. I don't have to deal with this anymore. Like, yeah, my recovery time's super fast. Like, it's like, but that's marginal compared to people who are like, well, I can't walk because of pain. I'm in a wheelchair. And then your Rife machine picks them up out of the wheelchair and they can walk without pain anymore. That's life-changing. People who've worked their entire lives with their hands doing real work, something a lot of this society and generation don't know what even is. A lot of people think they know what real work is. Oh, well, I work 50 hours in a pizza parlor or at fast food or, in front of a computer at a computer desk. I have to stand during the day in the AC and type on my computer because I can only sit in the chair for so long. And it's like, there's go lay concrete. Go lay asphalt. There are people that don't get to take water breaks. And they have to go be a framer. Go frame with a framing crew. Go hang sheetrock. You want to know what it's like to be really worked to death, where you work holes in your damn boots? Go do something like that. And then you'll see the difference. Not that I'm discrediting anybody's work, but I'm just saying there's people out there who have jobs that are on the physical side and the mental side. Everybody thinks framing's hard, or maybe someone's framed a wall on ground level and they're like, this isn't so bad. It's like, okay, now do it at this pace, but now we're 30 feet off the ground. Well, okay, what are we in a lift? No, you're on a walk board, maybe a 2x8, maybe a 2x12 that you temporarily fastened to the side of the house to stand up there to build the wall. So you're 20 feet off the ground. And you're expected to run at the same speed, Try running a nail gun at 4,000 nails a day. Let me know what your hands feel like after that. Let me know what your shoulder feels like. Nail gun weighs 9 pounds. Same thing. Like try hammering in 5,000 nails a day. Let me know what the amount of recoil impact that you feel in your joints, your hand, and your muscles at the end of the day after hitting something 1,000 times. So what happens is you're left with severe arthritis and carpal tunnel. People who lay bricks, people who do trim work, people who do carpentry, roofing, concrete. Eventually, you've gripped something for so long, so many years, so many hours a day that you can't, like, your hands are stuck in a position. You can't open them all the way. You can't tighten them all the way. I've seen bricklayers that they're stuck like this. They generally, this is their comfortable position. Is all they can do. They still lay brick. They still lay brick 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day. But they're like this. And they go home, they drink a beer. It's like this. Like, I mean, it's bad. I've seen people who can't open a beer or a pickle jar or anything because their hands are. I've seen people who can't open a beer or a pickle jar or anything because their hands are frozen like that from arthritis or carpal tunnel or worse. And they've been able to use a Rife machine and get the function of their hands back. But then I have to sit there and be told, like, nothing else worked, right? The doctor said, like, hey, your hands are just like that. You're going to die that way. There's nothing we can do. There's nothing a surgeon can do. There's no medicine. There's nothing. You're just going to die with your hands like this because you overworked them your entire life. Tennis elbow. That's another one. People who've never had it, it's extremely painful. It's extremely hard to work with. It's extremely hard to do anything with. I had it for a short period of time, and it wasn't from playing tennis. It was from overlifting, not lifting weights, but like overlifting at work in very like outstretched positions. And, you know, I PT'd it for a long time and it didn't really help. It helped a little bit. When I was PTing, it did help. It was a big difference. But it would always come back. If I stopped PTing, I started working too heavy again, it would always come back. I used the Rife machine on it. And it was a game changer. I don't suffer from it anymore. Don't even have to use the Rife machine on it anymore. It's just like, it's better. Like, I don't have any problems with it. I'm sure if I went out and lifted something wrong, whatever, like it would come back and I'd have to, you know, do some PT and run the Rife machine on it again to get it to go away. But it's like, it doesn't bother me anymore. And I will have people comment and make videos trying to discredit not just me, not just my machines, but the industry and all the machines on the industry. Even though a doctor, a surgeon, or an orthopedic doctor will prescribe you a frequency device. TENS units, PEMF, they prescribe those all the time. I see people prescribe PEMF back braces. I see people prescribe TENS units after surgery. I myself, after my knee surgery, let's see, this was, it had to be 2007, 2008. I had a really bad knee injury. So I had to have my PCL, ACL, and LCL fixed. So my PCL and my ACL were completely blown, completely destroyed, no fixing them. So they were replaced with cadaver parts. That's donor parts. That means another human who had passed away, they used their ligaments in my knee. And the other one was my LCL. It was torn, or my MCL. It was torn. It had to be stitched. And it was able to heal and recover. And then just my other ligament was just stretched. It was fine. It was a little stressed, but it was fine. Major surgery. All right, I was in surgery for like 7.5 hours. After that, I started PT. I was in PT for like 6 months. And then that means I went to the hospital every day for 6 months after surgery to do physical therapy. Very hard, very intense physical therapy. They iced me. They put me through a series of workouts. I mean, dude, like it brings you to tears every day. Like, that's how hard, that's how much pain suffering was. The injury, the surgery, like, I thought that was painful. I thought I knew what pain was. PT and the recovery, that was real pain. And guess what they would hook up to me? Probably, I would say about every third time I would go there. They would hook me up to a TENS unit. They would place pads on my calves and on my quads, and they would stimulate those muscles for healing, to help heal all the tendons and tissue and everything else in that area, and to help heal the muscles. They would stimulate the muscles so the muscles didn't like just basically die and go weak. And that was in 2008. That is a frequency device. They were using frequency, electrical current at a specific frequency to talk to the muscles, and the electrical signals running through your nerves, microcurrent in my quads and in my calves. And they did that for 6 months. And then what they sent me home with? A TENS unit, because they wanted me doing it every day. And this is another form of that. Those are all frequency devices. A Rife machine, frequency device. PMF, frequency device. TENS unit, frequency device. And it's like doctors, physical therapists, surgeons, they already use it. They already prescribe it to people. But you will have people get on TikTok, get on YouTube, get on Facebook and make these long comments and posts and videos talking about how it's absolute hogwash. And I mean, I guess we live in that world now, right? You got people who will run all over the place and tell you how dangerous the COVID vaccine is. And then you have on those other side of the aisle people running around telling you how great it is to take a medicine that can flush a human being out of your cervix, or your uterus, I'm sorry. And it's like, man, you don't think there's consequences for something like that? I understand in certain situations, it's like, yeah, that might be, the side effects don't outweigh the risk. It might be necessary. It's like with the COVID vaccine. It's like, man, you don't think that might be a little risky based on all the stuff that's put in there? I mean, I'm no doctor, I'm no scientist, I'm no research facilitator, but I'm pretty sure injecting heavy metals is that can't be good in the long run. But I understand sometimes the risk may not outweigh, or the risk may outweigh the side effects of what you need it for. And then you have people right now, I think the big one right now is people talking about Tylenol. It's like, I'm not anti-Tylenol. I don't think you should just take it. I think if you're taking it every day, you have a problem, and you should look into something alternative. But yeah, I do think, like, on an average person, it's like if you wake up and you have a headache that's going to debilitate you from being able to carry out your day, yeah, Tylenol sounds like it might be worth it. Now, if you have the ability to just lay there in bed all day and sleep and recover from whatever gave you the headache, to beat it naturally with water and good food, yeah, you should probably do that. Probably ain't worth the risk of taking Tylenol. Now, if you have things that are counting on you that day, future health and finances, whatever it may be, then it's like, yeah, I mean, just take Tylenol that one time. That's probably going to be okay. People who take it every day, that might run risk, in my opinion, that are greater than the reward. And I think you see that a lot on the medical field, or in the medical field. And you as a person has to decide what's the risk reward for you. Everything's risk reward. Everybody thinks that there's good and there's bad. It's like everything is bad outside of moderation. If you want to Google how many kids died drinking too much water, Google it. It'll pull it up. The most notable story I can remember, this is probably back in like 2014. Don't quote me on that. I think it was around that time. I think it was a group of kids, college kids, and they had like this ceremony for their 21st birthday. That was like standard in whatever college they were going to. Maybe it was whatever frat house they were a part of or whatever. And they were getting ready for this ceremony by taking shots of water so that they could learn and train themselves of how to take a shot without actually like drinking it. Just pour it down the throat, be done with it. So that they could take more, so that they could actually complete their ceremony. Well, a handful of them died because you can't drink water at that accelerated of a rate. You'll dilute your blood system. You'll lose oxygen. And now suddenly your blood is water, not blood. You guys can look that up. And it's like that with just about everything. Just like vegetables. You can only have some, everything has to be in moderation. It has to be balanced out. You can sit there and eat vegetables till you die, just like you can sit there and eat red meat till you die. Just like you can over-oxygenate yourself until you die. That's right. You cannot breathe pure oxygen over and over and over again. You'll die. That's why at the dentist, they put the mask on you. What are they giving you? In an airplane, when you're about to crash, what do they give you? Oxygen. It's not because you're losing oxygen. It's because when you inhale too much oxygen, it gets you high. It relaxes you. You don't care anymore. That's why at the dentist, they call it laughing gas. So there's a risk reward for all of that, for everything. So my only point is, I know I digress and I went into all this different stuff about Rife machines. I am bummed out. I do think people being critical and having questions and offering solutions in a converse manner, right? Don't come at somebody disrespectful, argumentative, or anything like that. Come at people like you want to help them. Telling somebody that, like, hey, all right, I'm looking into this. I'm exploring something new. I'm curious about this. And then you coming up to them and being like, oh, that's stupid. That's so fake. That doesn't work. What are you, an idiot? It's not a way to approach somebody who's clearly dealing with something pretty serious, or they wouldn't be looking into a Rife machine in the first place. So they're already, let's say, embarrassed and apprehensive about their situation and what they're dealing with. And then you're coming out and telling them how stupid they are under the idea that they even want to explore something that you don't agree with. Because you don't have to agree with it. That's the beauty that leads us to great things, is disagreement. But it's being able to have a conversation about it. It's coming at somebody in a converse manner of being like, hey, I have heard about that. I've heard it does great things. I've heard people have great results. But from my understanding of it, it's this, this, and this. And I theorize that this might make more sense or be better for your situation. You should look at both and compare them. Because all I want is to help you. That's my 2 cents. Not, hey, I want to dominate this conversation and be better and pretend I know more than you. And I have a right to tell you what you can do for your body and your ailments. Don't come at somebody like that. I mean, I just can't even, I'm shocked that we live in a civilization and in a time and era that is like, that even has to be explained. You want people to treat you with respect, you treat them with respect. It's as simple as that. And it's very easy. Being polite and respectful. It should just be your go-to manner. If your go-to manner is anything other than polite and respectful, like there's something wrong with you. Period. Like you don't fire on all cylinders. You weren't raised right. Maybe your diet's off. Maybe you don't exercise enough. I don't know what it is, but something's wrong with you. Your general fallback, your general safety net, your general response, if something hits you aloof, and you don't know how to respond, or you don't know what's what, or you weren't listening, or what, it doesn't matter what it is. If your general response isn't being polite and respectful back, there's something wrong with you. The only time that's not okay is if you have to be defensive. Defensive because your physical well-being or someone else's physical well-being depend on it. That's the only time. Outside of that, polite, respectful, walk away. Polite, respectful, help. Intuitive. Polite, respectful, intuitive. You want to help? Help. You don't want to help? Be polite and respectful and walk away. Mind your own business. If you want to help somebody, be polite and respectful. Offer something for progression. Don't offer something for win, for victory. Like, I'm offering you this to help you find the truth. I hope you find it. Because all I seek is being polite, respectful, and offering people the truth. Sometimes people aren't always going to take the truth as polite and respectful. That's not your fault. It's not your burden or responsibility to tiptoe around other people's insecurities on eggshells. But it is your responsibility to be polite and respectful and offer them the truth. If they see the truth as disrespectful and rude, and you did everything you could to be respectful and polite, just walk away. Like, okay, man, I'm sorry you see it that way. Walk away. Outside of that, people are always mostly going to appreciate you being truthful in a polite, respectful manner. That's how you help people find what's going to help them. And that's what I hope people come here searching for and find. I want to be polite and respectful, and I want to help you. I know that you have found modern medicine, and everybody in modern medicine is telling you to do these things that you've already done or doesn't help you. And I want to be here, and I'm not saying don't do those things. You'll never hear that come out of my mouth. I'm telling you that this can be paired with those things, and you'll see results. It will help you. And that's what I want. I want to help you. If it doesn't help you, send it back to me. Send it back to me. Tell me how you're using it. Tell me about what you got going on. And let me see if I can offer help in any other way. There's many, many devices out there. There's many different routes. There's many different practices. We are not at the mercy of having modern day medicine with a boot on our neck. And the only thing that works is whatever doctor we see that day, whatever they feel and decide to write down on a prescription pad. That's not how healing works. It never has. If you want to look something up that doesn't exist today, look up hospital sunrooms. So hospitals used to have a big area on the top of hospitals, like just a big concrete flat area on like one of the top stories. And what they would do each day to patients that were usually there indefinitely or for a long time, very sick, post-recovery, whatever it is, they would roll them in their beds because they can't walk, they can't move, they're immobile, they're very sick. They would roll them to these rooftops and put them in the sunshine. Why? Because sun triggers healing in your body. It gives you a component, helps you release vitamin D. Same way a plant needs sun just to survive, so do we. And it would help us heal. It'd help us grow. You ever seen a sick plant that looks like it's about to die, all shriveled up and brown? And you give it some water and some sunlight, and you're like, wow, that plant looks brand new. Well, guess what? You share a lot of organic compositions with that plant. We all live on the same planet and the same ecosystem. We both drink water. Plants often breathe carbon monoxide. We breathe oxygen. We exhale carbon monoxide. They exhale oxygen. We're not that different. Both of us need sun to survive. Both of us need water to survive. And we both need oxygen and carbon monoxide to survive. Why don't they do that anymore? It's interesting. So the more you search, the more you'll find it interesting. I just hope that people will come to this page with an open mind of understanding that technology has come a long way, that medicine has come a long way, and that every day people are searching and practicing and researching things that help people heal. Not everybody, nothing is one size fits all, but there is something for everybody out there. And that the dinosaur medical community that we have living in the freaking Civil War era of bloodletting and every other ridiculous thing they practiced back then to heal people isn't working. So I'm going to switch gears from there. Before I do want to say that I really appreciate everybody that does come to our pages, our TikToks, our comments, our live streams. They find us. They do filter through all the garbage, and they're like, "Man, that is good information. I really appreciate it. Really excited for it." We have tons of great comments on there of people who are like, "Hey, I haven't used one of their Rife machines before, but I can tell you this, I implemented their frequency schedule and their recommendations with water or frequency schedule or frequencies or what to try or anything like this." And they're like, "I can tell you right now, like, it was amazing. I had great results." They're on to something. They're doing something incredible. They're not just handing you a device and expecting you to figure it out. They're not leaving you high and dry. They are coaching you along the way, and they are explaining to you how this works, why it works, how to use it to make it work. All right. You don't just receive an iPhone and be like, "Oh, this doesn't work. I can't make a call and I can't text message and blah, blah, blah." No, you put in time and research and education to understand how to use your smartphone. Like, okay, well, I have to have a courier, right? So I get AT&T, Verizon, or T-Mobile. All right. And then I pay them monthly. I figured that part out. Now they've got me on an actual number and I can send text messages and make calls. Now I have to download this app if I want to use this app and make this work for me. You put time and effort in to figure those things out. A Rife machine is no different. And just like T-Mobile or Verizon or AT&T, you can go in there at any time. Their customer service, "Oh, well, you just do this and you can do this and then you download this app and then you connect here and they'll show you how to do it all." We're the same way. No other manufacturer is offering that kind of service. We are here to show you how to set it up, how to use it, and what to do. Because the most important thing to us is that you have results using an Electromedics Rife machine. Because we want that feedback. The worst thing that can happen is we send you a machine, it doesn't work good because you don't know how to use it, or you use it in a less than effective way, and your results are marginal or unsatisfactory. And then that is the exact thing that is the image you have on the entire industry. We don't want that. We will help you every step of the way, any way we can, to make sure, hey, we don't want that result for you. We want to make sure your result is like, hey, life changing. Go to these people, talk to them. You'll be excited. You'll be happy. You'll have life changing results. That's what we want. So, shifting gears from there, the big news, and I'm going to wrap this up quickly. I'm not going to hold it over. I went over last time I did a Talking Rife episode, and we will do longer episodes here and there, as we have guests and other big things happening. And I appreciate anybody who comes to the podcast and watch and, is excited about the podcast and things like that. We really want to grow it in a way that you're involved. Take questions and comments and phone ins. We would love to do like phone in lives. Like if you're a part of the podcast during the live, say you're on TikTok and you're like, hey, like, I want to be phoned in. Like we'll phone you in on TikTok live and you'll get to sit there and have a one-on-one with me for a couple of minutes or maybe even 5 minutes, depending on what we're talking about and everything else. And then we'll move to the next person. We really want this to be a community-oriented podcast that allows people an opportunity to voice their research, their concerns, their experiences. Because that is what makes this community so special, is a community of people that just care about one another. We don't care about money. We don't care about being right. We don't care about being on different political sides or football teams or other garbage that everybody's worried about today. All we care about is that, like, hey, did you have a good result with that? That's awesome. Like, hey, man, did that work out for you? That's great. I don't believe in it. I don't want to use it, but I'm super excited to hear that it worked for you. That's what it's about. Maybe it'll work for my mother-in-law. I don't believe in it, but I know she's having the same problem. Let me connect you two. I'm not going to try it. I don't have that problem and I don't believe in it, but let me connect y'all two. Y'all have the same thing going on. Maybe that'll help her. That seems to be the just some astronomical way of living with a neighbor or friend or someone on social media these days, which blows my mind. It's like somehow we can't come to that form of coexisting. Instead, our coexisting is, oh, you have a different opinion of me? Let me shoot you. Let me stab you in the neck. Let me run up and put a brick upside your head. Or let me scream at you and chant at you and throw my drink at you at a baseball game or football game. Somehow that's where we are. It can't be like, hey, man, you're cheering for the other baseball team? That's awesome. What beer are you drinking? I'm going to buy you another one. What a great day to be at a baseball game, am I right? Like, the sun is beautiful, the weather's great, and what a great game we got. I'm not cheering for your team, but they're playing damn well. I'm impressed. Where's that part of society? Instead, society is full of FUs and middle fingers and you suck and this and that. And it's shocking. It's literally shocking. Thank God in this community, it doesn't matter what device you use, what type of exploration into frequency therapy you're using, whether it's sound, EMFs, red light, it doesn't matter. We're all together. We're not even on the same team. We're just all together. It's like, wow, that worked for you. Let me hear about it. That's awesome. I have somebody with that same condition. Do you mind if I send them your message, your number? Do you mind if I link you guys up? That's awesome to hear. Because that is that's humanity. That's real humanity. Oh, I don't eat meat. I eat vegetables. But hey, I know John down there eats a lot of meat. I should link you two guys up. You guys will get along great. You guys can share, I'm sure he'll buy some of your meat and you guys can share back and forth. And he'd be like, oh, you know what? I got a neighbor. He farms a bunch of vegetables. He does it completely organic. He grows them real big. Make sure he only waters them with rainwater and gives them natural soil. He doesn't use store-bought soil. You guys should talk. You guys love each other. That's humanity. That's real coexisting. That's real humanity. You don't see that anymore. So, without further ado, I'm going to get back into, I wanted to talk about this before I left today. I do appreciate everybody finding us like that. We have developed our own frequency playlist, a frequency schedule. So, before I get any further into details, let me tell you why. We have had a ton of people that have reached out to us about health optimization. A ton of people that reached out to us that were like, hey, we want to buy one, but we don't really have any pain. We don't really have any ailments. We're not sick. And what can we use the Rife machine for? And we've had other people that would buy one and we're like, hey, what are you using it for? If you ever need any help setting up a frequency schedule, any help, building a playlist, navigating the app, just let us know. So we always ask them, what are you curious about using it for? Maybe we know something that you can add into your frequency schedule that'll really help. And a lot of people just like, oh, we just want it for health optimization. We just want to use it for general health. And what these people are all saying is they're like, hey, like I'm not old. I don't have pain. I don't have immobilization. I'm not sick. None of these things, but I know I'm getting old. I know those things come with older age. you become less mobile. You often experience more pain, joint pain, arthritis, degenerating tissue and connective tissue and muscle, bone on bone, loss of clarity, brain fog, forgetfulness, Alzheimer's, headaches, allergies, you name it. It often starts coming in older age. And they're like, what can we use to help prolong that? What can we use it for to outrun Father Time a little bit longer? And I love it because it's like, this is what we want. Like, not just what we want, it's an incredible thing. We want people talking about, we want people using the Rife machine for this. Too often, people find us when it's their last resort. Imagine that. Imagine being the company when you're the last resort, right? Like, oh, hey, I want you to build my house. You're a great reputable company. You are above mid-range price range, but you're a great reputable company. I want you to build my house. I want a house built very well. You're like, all right, I'll build your house. And that's budget friendly. Now imagine the person who comes to you and they're like, hey, these people built my house. They're 90% done. Everything is in complete shambles. You got material that's been out in the rain and standing up. Things built wrong. Not enough, structural bolts, screws, straps, all of this different stuff here, there, everywhere else. And it's they're like, can you save the day? And you're like, wow, it's a lot harder than. I'm your last resort. Now you hired the cheap guy and they messed everything up for a very long time. And now, I'm the last resort person coming to fix your construction project or your house. Or say the same thing about your car. This person was like, well, I was following his schedule. And he said he was changing the oil. I was suspicious when he was doing it for $10 a pop because the oil alone costs $50. But I trusted him, and now you've brought it to a reputable mechanic, and it's like, well, the oil in there is gel now. It's never been changed. The oil filter seized to the freaking tank. And then they're like, can you help? Can you fix it? And it's like you're fighting an uphill battle. So that's what a lot of people come to us with on a Rife machine, and they're like, you're my last resort. Can you help me? And I'm like, well, it's going to be an uphill battle. So when people find us up front and they're like, we're using a Rife machine for health optimization, I'm like, that's great. That's great, because along the way, if you ever reach out to me and you have a problem and we get ahead of it with a Rife machine, your results will be absolutely phenomenal. They'll be outstanding, especially comparatively to someone who found us when it was like, well, you're our last resort. All right, it's like, all right, well, you got a long journey ahead of you. But I do think we can help. So anyways, we created a health optimization playlist. It is not found on the sequence playlist of Z-App. So it has to be created. I created it myself after years of research and studying of what's the best thing to keep skin and hair healthy, to regenerate bone, connective tissue, and muscle tissue, to promote overall healing or wound healing when you take damage and you don't even know it, right? When you sit in front of a computer all day and it's like, most days it's fine, but today I had to work 10 hours, it was really hard, I'll scroll a lot of stuff, my eyes are red, my brain's just completely cooked and all this stuff. Well, guess what? That needs to recover. Your eyes and brain have to recover the same way. That'd be the same thing as working out for 2 hours and just pushing your body to the absolute max to the point that it's collapsing. Your legs feel like noodles and you can barely use your arms and hands. That's what you do to your brain and your eyes when you look at a computer like that. And if you want to Google search it, you can actually Google search how many calories a professional chess player burns in one game. It's 5,000 calories. Can you imagine burning 5,000 calories doing nothing but moving your arm like this and thinking? It's because your brain takes that many calories when you're using it in a very strenuous manner. And you're constantly problem solving and theorizing and analyzing and all of this different stuff. You use a ton of brain power. Your brain power uses a ton of calories. And it has to recover. Just like when your body uses a ton of calories. You go run 5 miles, your body used a ton of calories. What does your body have to do after that? It has to recover. It's the same thing with your brain. And this playlist is for that. It's hard work day, physically or mentally. It will help with recovery. Same thing with, you go on from that. So we got skin, hair, nails. We have muscle recovery, brain recovery from strenuous activity. And we also have general regeneration of bone and connective tissue and muscles. All these different things that are generally for health optimization. And then you pair that. Sorry, my dogs are attacking my wife. Brutus, Kennel, Bella. They get really excited when she comes down. Real excited. And they weigh 125 pounds apiece. So, and she weighs about 115 soaking wet. So she, they got her overdone. Anyway, so it covers all of these different things that are just general health optimization. And if you pair that with, let's say, twice a year, once every 6 months, I'd be like, do a parasite detox with it twice a year. And then pair that with twice a year, also do a heavy metal detox. And so you're supplementing in small things like that. They can absolutely have tremendous benefits when it comes to Alzheimer's, nerve disorders, muscle recovery, arthritis, joint pain, degenerating tissue, muscle tissue, hair loss, skin quality. So like, if you bump your skin, you're not dealing with a cut and bleeding every time. I don't know if y'all know that, but as you get older, it's very easy to bump your skin. Your skin becomes very brittle, or not brittle, what's the word I'm looking for? Very easily damaged, and you bleed. Same thing with nail quality, eye quality, not getting cataracts and things like that. And it will even help with things that are standard, like allergies, headaches, getting sick, bacteria, things like that. It is literally like kind of like a one size fits all health optimization. Now, I'm not saying you go and play this playlist when you're already super sick or dealing with a lot of pain, even though it probably would have a lot of benefits, but there's other playlists that I can play that are going to help you more. This is if you're experiencing nothing and you want to stay that way and you want to get even better, less brain fog, more clarity, seeing better, healthier hair, healthier skin, healthier nails, healthier joints, bones, connective tissue, and muscles. I have created a playlist for that. If you guys want to know that playlist, like and share this Talking Rife podcast episode, and I'll message it to you for free. And I'm telling you, this playlist is going to change your life. Well, guys, that's it for me tonight. I really appreciate you joining us. We look forward to being back with you tomorrow. We'll probably take Sunday off, and we expect a full week next week. I know we've been kind of light on the podcasts and the videos and stuff. We had a ton of big events for electromedics that turned out absolutely incredible. We're working with the VA. We're working with nonprofit organizations. We're working with people from across the nation, all over, who are so excited about electromedics, are so excited about getting it in the hands of people that need it and funding this, getting insurance companies to pay for it and other nonprofits to pay for it and stuff like that, to put it in the homes of the people who need it most. And we're working with a lot of veterans who need this technology. And I want you to know that if you make a purchase, every purchase you make is going towards helping us put this in their homes. Okay? And just know, everybody can say that, he's selling these machines to rip people off. And it's like, really? I wish that was the case. I wish I was that rich. I'm working construction, breaking my back just to fund me be able to sit here tonight. I pay to make those machines with my construction crew and to sit here tonight to talk to you about it. Why? Because it's my passion. It's my purpose in life. It has helped me change my life in incredible ways. I've watched it change other people's lives in incredible ways. And if I can help one more person change their life in an incredible way, it is worth it. I take away from my vacations, from my luxuries, from my car, from my shooting and other hobbies, hunting hobbies. Last year, I didn't even hunt. I'm the biggest hunter in the world. It is my escape from society. My vacation is being able to go out to the woods and be a part of nature and just get away from the noise of the city and everyday work life. And I skipped that last year to be a part of this and to be able to do this because I invested so much of my money that I earned working construction. And I mean in 100-degree heat and humidity where I break my back. I'm not the owner of the company who's just like, yeah, this looks good. Oh, y'all need some help over here. Let me go call a guy. Like, no, I'm the guy with the tool bag on the ladder, making the cuts, making the measurements, running the nail gun. I have OCD. I don't often let other guys run the nail gun on my job sites unless I have to. And if I do, they nail up their end till it's held, and then I nail the board off because I like precision nail patterns. I break my back. Look at my wrist right there. Y'all see that sticking out of my wrist? That's from running the nail gun your whole life. That's what it can do. Can a Rife machine help get rid of that? I'll let you know. I'm going to find out. I know you can just smash it with a Bible, but they always come back. So once I get a chance to start working on this, right now we're working on my daughter's eczema and her parasites, which has went phenomenal. You want to hear about that? Follow Electromedics TikTok. My wife has done her 7th-day video showing the progress of working a parasite sequence on eczema, right? It's not what people think it is all the time. What's causing my daughter's eczema has mostly been parasites. We're able to detox her from parasites and her eczema disappears. It's incredible when you find it out. The eczema sequence only helped with the symptoms, the discomfort, the scratching. The parasite detox is erasing it from her skin. You'll hear more about that. Go follow her and look at that. It's absolutely incredible. But thank you guys for being here. We look forward to talking to you in the future.